When Ricky Smith won the 2013 National Hot Rod Association Pro Modified Season Championship, he said, "That's it, I quit, I'm going out on top." But now it's 2014 and Ricky Smith is back. He and his sponsor have said, "Let's try to do this one more time." Within the NHRA is a class of car that defies convention. Door slammers with nitrous, turbos, blowers. These are the Mavericks. This is Pro Mod. Auto Plus Raceway in Gainesville, Florida is annually the kickoff to the National Hot Rod Association Pro Modified Championship Tour. And we're ready to herald in 2014. We've already seen some outrageous action during qualifying, but brand new rules instituted by the NHRA to make things closer between the turbo, nitrous, and supercharged cars and new, younger, improved drivers are going to be the big stories of this event. Young Jason Hamstra was one of the qualifiers in one of the quickest and closest fields ever. Mike Janis explains.
It's going to be a tough field tomorrow.
Yeah, it's only a 10th from 1 to 16.
Yeah, it's probably the toughest one that I can remember in all the years I've been doing this.
I think it's the first 590 field in the class, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was in 2008 we were here, and we were the first original fives to go in the 5 with 5-second club. And now you got a 5-second field, so it's pretty impressive how far these pro mods have come.
And as Steve Matusek heats the tires in the Agave Underground Tequila Camaro to take on coal mining executive Jim Larita, we can explain that these two were only qualified 1/100th of a second apart.
Boy, I didn't know that. Well, that'll be a nice race. I'm looking forward to it.
We had some problems. We lost probably a 1/10 of a penny nut on the last run, so the car rolled the beams. So we have a little bit more incentive first run. A little ticked off that we didn't get that last run in.
Well, it still should be a close race between the number 8 and 9 qualifiers. Here we go to open the 2014 season. Problems for Larita, and it will be a win for Steve Matusek and his Tim McAmis-built Chevrolet Camaro with a solid 5-second effort.
It was a good win. I mean, very exciting. Chutes came out, cars stopped, screamed in the radio. You can't ask for more than that.
But now it's this turbocharged 2014 Mustang against the reigning world champion, the man who said he was done, he wasn't coming back. It's Ricky Smith out of King, North Carolina in the IDG Camaro.
When the air is really good, it definitely favors the blown car because they run a 3-speed, we run a 4-speed. See, they get to run to 2 seconds before they have to change gear. We got to change gear in about a second, and that's what makes it aggravating to get it, make that gear change.
I think we can run it with them. We're going to tune it up a little bit. We went faster each pass, made it down the track all 3 times, so I think we got something for them.
In fact, Floridian Kevin Fiskus was the fastest of all the qualifiers. He can run with the world champion Ricky Smith. They leave the line almost simultaneously, and it's a great drag race to the finish line, but the world champion wins it. They both run the same elapsed time to the 100th, but Ricky Smith leaves first. His trademark, the slight hole shot that gave him a win by 23 thousandths of a second.
It was a pretty good run. It shook a little. The track's real tight. When you have to run these high-powered cars this early in the morning, the air's real good and the track's a little cold, so, hey, it's tough on old man this early. We're supposed to be in retirement home.
But remember, it was Ricky himself who decided against retirement. This is Dan Stevenson, the Chicago Crane Company operator. He'll be up against Danny Rowe, the number 1 team car of the Agave Underground group.
To go out there and be everybody's friend out here, we're going out to win some races, so we'll do what we have to do.
A little trickery on the starting line, a little gate job.
No. We'll just go race them, and whoever gets the other end first wins, right?
One of 4 nitrous oxide injected qualifiers in the near lane, one of 9 supercharged entries that made the field for Danny Rowe. And both drivers have problems. Stevenson heads for the wall and has to take his foot off the throttle, and that will allow Danny Rowe, whose first win in this series came in 2001, to continue in 2014 winning rounds. Here's the machine that won the World Championship 2 years ago. It's Troy Coughlin out of Ohio in the Jegs.com twin turbocharged entry, one of only 3 turbo qualifiers. He's alongside a driver who's won championships in other Pro Mod series. This is Jason Hamstra, young driver from DeMotte, Indiana, who is capable of battling the biggest names on the NHRA Tour. And on and off the throttle for Hamstra, that is the end of the Indiana threat. And Troy Coughlin, who finished number 2 to Ricky Smith in the points last year, advances with his quickest run of the weekend.
Steve and the guys came back and worked on it and got it to pick up a little bit and then pick it up a little bit more and read the track conditions. And Steve and these guys, this whole Jegs.com crew, they're pretty awesome.
The first 4 winners in our first round of competition are all in the 5-second zone and separated by only 1/10 of a second. We'll return with the conclusion of round number 1 here in Gainesville, Florida. Stay with us. This exclusive coverage of National Hot Rod Association Pro Modified Drag Racing is brought to you by Precision Turbo and Engine, the winning edge in boosted performance. By ARP, the world leader in fastener technology. By Automotive, serious fuel systems. And by B&M Racing and Performance, quality performance products that work. Welcome back to Auto Plus Raceway here in Gainesville, Florida, as we continue the season kickoff of the 2014 Pro Modified World Championship Series in the National Hot Rod Association. This battle will pair 2 Ontario Canadians, Eric Latino and Ray Camiso, who both live only a few miles from each other north of the border. Eric Latino explains.
Raymond's a friend of mine from Toronto. We both drove 20 hours to get to this race, so just kind of hoping to meet up with Raymond in the 2nd or 3rd round or even the 4th round if we get that far.
Well, it didn't work out that way, as here they are in the opening round of competition, squaring against each other in supercharged Chevy Camaros. Both drivers all over the place, but it's Camiso driving away for a victory on a huge hole shot. Look at the elapsed times, 0.07 of a second quicker for the loser.
You know, it's been 2 years I've been out of this car seat. You know, I had to take a year off and get my business in order to open a second restaurant, but it feels great to be back. It feels even better to get a first round win. Hopefully I'll be talking to you guys at the end of the day today.
The J&A Services Chevy Camaro of rookie sensation Stephen Whiteley, a second-generation racer who will take on Mike Nowell's gorgeous Chevy Camaro in a battle of drivers from the Grand Junction, Colorado area.
They're good people. They're good friends, so it'll be fun. It's their first pro mod race, so it'll only make it right that we run each other.
Well, if nothing else, for bragging rights for Grand Junction, Colorado, this should be an interesting one. Stephen Whiteley's first ever official pro modified race. He's in the far lane and has an advantage. And the rookie takes a first round victory.
He has a converter car. I knew he was going to be there. And our game plan was just to get down there, not have it on kill or anything, and see what happens. And, you know, he left on me, but, you know, fortunately for me, we drove around him. And it was tight on the other end. I could hear him right here. All I was thinking about is try to cut a good light, hit my shifts, which I did all that, and I was just along for the ride.
One of the most heavily favored drivers to win any NHRA Pro Modified event is Mike Castellana in the Alanabi Camaro. He'll be up against Todd Tutterow in a supercharged Ford Mustang.
I have an electrical issue right now with the fuel system, and we're going through a lot more fuel than it needs. If I can get that worked out, I think the 800 is going to come right around though.
Despite those problems, Tutterow's been running very strong in the brand new Gallant Motorsports Ford Mustang. And huge problems for Tutterow, but even Castellana's in and out of the throttle. Nobody figured out the conditions on that run, but Castellana will gladly take a win with a huge sigh of relief. Watch the near lane, almost instantaneous tire shake and spin, but watch the left side as Castellana shakes the tires while in a wheel stand. He has to get out of the throttle and barely gets the win.
We shook the tires a little bit. I had to pedal it. I'm not sure what happened to him. I didn't see him, but you can't take that chance. You always got to stay in it.
2 thundering smoky burnouts, one from this supercharged Ford Mustang of New Yorker Mike Janis, the other from 70-year-old Jim Bell in one of the 3 turbocharged engine-powered qualifiers. Janis, the heavy favorite in this matchup. Bell looking to make a huge upset win in the opening round, and both they are all over the place. Janis will take a limping victory, while Canadian Bell did everything he could just to stay in his own lane.
As soon as I got on the 2-step, it just went rich and it stopped the tire, went into a tire shake, and then I barely made it all the way down.
Yeah,
and,
you almost got upset.
Oh yeah, I kept feathering it all the way down because it wouldn't, run. It kept popping and banging, and he wasn't there.
and we just got lucky. Right now, there's 16 good cars. When you're qualified, you're 16. We got to try and qualify towards the front that hopefully you can get to run a car that's a little bit slower than us. And last couple races, we haven't been doing that. So I guess Ricky's probably our toughest guy right now, but anybody out there, the turbo cars are very unpredictable. We know that they can go fast if they make them run down low. There's no easy run out there anymore. I mean, years ago, you'd have 5 good cars that you'd really worry about. Now, out of the 24, there's 20 that you better have your game on.
4 more drivers advance, but in the second round, we'll see a matchup of the Agave Underground tequila drivers, Danny Rowe and Steve Matusek.
I know for a fact that he can't concentrate more than about 5 seconds, so we'll see what happens.
I'm gonna kick his butt.
Welcome back to Auto Plus Raceway in Gainesville, Florida for the season kickoff of the 2014 National Hot Rod Association Pro Modified Championship season. And this very first battle of elimination round number 2 will pit Stephen Whiteley, the rookie driver in the black J&A Services Camaro, against one of the best in the business, Mike Castellana, in the near lane with his Alanabi Camaro, whom the rookie will face for the first time ever.
Majority of these guys, you don't win races by going fast. You win them by getting down the track. And with us being rookies, that's all we want. We just want laps under our belt more than anything.
One has to wonder if that rookie driver realizes Mike Castellana has had 3 perfect reaction times in his driving career.
Who's going to lead line first?
Well, I hope me. I'll do my best on that, but we'll see what happens.
More than 20 years experience for Mike Castellana in unlimited door slammer drag racing. Steve Whiteley is in his first season. They leave the starting line. It's a great side-by-side drag race, but Castellana wins on a massive all shot. He left 0.07 of a second ahead of Whiteley, who was 0.05 of a second quicker. 24 thousandths of a second at the finish line. Now it's a matchup of the 2 team cars of the Agave Underground tequila operation owned by Mike Ivey. It's Steve Matusek and Danny Rowe.
Obviously, we're both competitive and we really enjoy racing, but it was the first time we got to run against each other in a round of eliminations. And it was kind of funny because we both had our little bits and pieces of what we were going to go out there and do.
Well, I get in the car, turn the radio on, have the helmet on, and he's singing to me.
You know, Steve was trying to do a longer burnout.
And then out of the corner of my eye, see he coasts further than I do. And I'm, damn. So put it in reverse, you open the door, you start backing up, then we're racing going backwards.
Both trying to get after the tree, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, I really enjoy working with Steve. He's a great guy.
And he's like a brother. Everything we do is a competition. You know, I get the best equipment. We have a lot of fun with it. And the goal is to make us both better.
He really loves his sport as much as I do. He does a great job inside that race car, which is great for the team. But I want to kick his ass either way. That's the bottom line. You know, it doesn't matter who it is. Steve Matusek or Tricky Ricky, I want to kick his ass too.
That was Ricky Smith himself in the background cautioning Danny Rowe. You may not want to go much further with that description. Here we go. Danny Rowe and Steve Matusek, the Agave Underground team cars. They've left the line, but this is a horsepower battle. Oh, driver's side window comes apart on Steve Matusek's machine. It was Danny Rowe simply overpowering his opponent.
It's got to be inferior equipment. The window blows out. I run a slower ET. I mean, come on. Is it a fix or isn't it? You tell me.
Up next, it's the Toronto, Ontario Canadian Chevy Camaro of Ray Camiso, alongside somebody he's known for decades, Mike Janis at the helm of the Jansen Motorsports Camaro.
Raymond's a really tough competitor. I've been racing Raymond for years. He's like he's across the border right by us.
Mike, I have all the respect in the world for Mike. You know, he's a great engine builder, great race car driver, a great racer in general. We're gonna have to bring him up to the starting line. You know, the best car will win.
Who leaves first?
He probably does because he leaves off a button. I've got the old school clutch pedal in the car. Bob Newberry's not into automatic transmissions.
And there is still quite a rivalry between the automatic transmissions and the guys who do the shifting. The 2 blown cars leave the starting line, but Janis's car stumbles and Ray Camiso will advance. It's not the quickest or fastest run he's made this weekend, but it's good enough to put him in the semifinals with crew chief Bob Newberry. Now, the most anticipated battle of the round. The two quickest cars from the opening stanza of eliminations, the YellowJegs.com turbocharged Corvette of Troy Coughlin takes on the reigning world champion Tricky Ricky Smith and the IDG Tool Sales Chevy Camaro. 903 cubic inches of Pat Musey nitrous oxide injected electronic fuel injected engine against one of the incredible Pro-Line racing engines, twin turbocharged Chevrolet motors. Both drivers have moved into the pre-staged beams, but it doesn't appear that anybody's in a rush to actually stage the car. Sitting on the starting line, who will stage first? This psychological battle in which neither driver is willing to stage first is really how Ricky Smith got his nickname.
We used to play the staging line battles years ago, you know, and stuff, even back when I was running Superstock. We were playing battles, but got into pro stock and stuff like that, and there was a guy around home running an auto parts store. Well, he would start hollering on the PA at Tricky Ricky Smith. That was the way he said it. Tricky Ricky. It stuck with me.
It sure did, and it's still continuing to this moment. Pat Musey behind Ricky Smith, still waiting for somebody to stage, and that somebody is Troy Coughlin. Now Ricky Smith still takes as much time as he can to go in. A very slight hole shot for Ricky Smith, and a big wheel stand will end it for Troy Coughlin. Tricky Ricky unloads a 591 low ET of the round.
Oh, what was that? Oh, I don't know. Me and Troy just having fun. We're good friends. I run jegs on my car. We're real good friends. Me and Troy, we just have a little game every now and then, whether we go in first or not. Sometimes you're the bug and sometimes you're the windshield, but it turned out good today, Ted.
Don't let that smile fool you. If Ricky Smith had lost that race, he'd be punching somebody right now. When we come back, two nitrous cars and two supercharged cars will square off in the semifinal round here at Gainesville. Stay with us. This exclusive coverage of the National Hot Rod Association Pro Modified Championship Series is brought to you by Bruce High Performance Transporters, leading the industry since 1981. By Stage 8, the world's best locking fastener. By Agave Underground, 100% agave tequila. And by CRC Industries, chemical solutions to keep you moving. We're down to the semifinals in Pro Modified competition here at Gainesville, Florida, and we'll see two supercharged machines against two nitrous oxide injected vehicles. Canadian Ray Camiso meets Mike Castellana in this pair, and Ray reflects on his past with Castellana.
Mike Castellana is another great competitor back from the old school Pro Mod days. I watched Mike growing up being a Pro Mod racer, and here I am racing against him.
Shannon Jenkins, the crew chief on the Western Beef Alanabi Chevy Camaro, stands behind the vehicle as Castellana rolls to the starting line. Castellana, a past winner of just about every event on the NHRA Pro Modified Tour. Camiso, a veteran supercharged driver. A great drag race, but Castellana stretches the lead to the finish line and wins, both drivers running well off their previous pace.
The car didn't perform really like we wanted to, but hopefully we'll work on it now and get it right for the final round.
Now the world champion, Ricky Smith, at the helm of Charlie Lingenfelder's IDG Camaro, takes on the Agave Underground team survivor, Danny Rowe. Remember, in the previous round, these two ran virtually identical elapsed times. It should be one of the best drag races of the day, unless, as we saw in the previous pair, track conditions dictate otherwise.
Yeah, Tricky's he's a little bit of an animal out there on the tree. He doesn't like to go in first. He's going to make us all work really hard to get around.
Well, we found out he doesn't like to go in first in the last battle. Let's see if we have another one of those burn down starting games. Nope. They leave the starting line, and it is a great drag race to the finish line. Ricky Smith wins on another hole shot. 0.04 of a second advantage off the starting line, and it was the closest drag race of the day. 15 thousandths of a second at the stripe.
Do the words whole shot victory ever get too old to hear?
I guess not. When you get older, you just do the best you can, man. The good Lord's blessed me in a lot of different ways. Wife, kids, and racing.
27 drivers attempted to qualify for 16 spots here at Gainesville, but now we're down to the final 2, both driving nitrous oxide cars. Ricky Smith will have lane choice.
ProMod 101 is brought to you by Precision Turbo and Engine.
Harry, a lot of people are wondering, why do you have 2 wings?
Well, there's 2 reasons actually. One of them is safety, because as we add downforce to the car, we add stability to the car. Adding stability means we can go faster and be safer down the racetrack.
Yeah, this car stays hooked up.
Exactly. Of course, the other reason is that we're building this car to go 270 miles an hour. I don't know if it'll ever make that, but we wanted more aerodynamics built into the car in the event that we had the power to do it.
So you have this applying downforce and this.
Exactly.
And this one's adjustable.
Right. And we can tip it for, actually it has a specific aerodynamics built into it. It's not going to move too much. We could take the wicker bill off and have the car even more streamlined to go faster if we get enough downforce off the wing, because the wing doesn't add resistance.
Interesting information, but now it's time for the first final round of the 2014 NHRA Pro Modified season. Mike Castellana, the longtime New York champion with his nitrous oxide injected rear end Morrison Chevy powered Camaro against Ricky Smith's Pat Musey powered Chevy.
We just need to keep a little luck going. We'll be all right here. This IDG car is strolling right now.
One of the cagiest veterans against one of the best natural drivers. Remember, Castellana is known for brutal reaction times. Ricky Smith stages first, and Castellana leaves the line with a .004 reaction time and runs low elapsed time of eliminations. Shannon Jenkins and the Speed Tech Nitrous Solutions crew goes crazy. What a victory for the New Yorker.
You go 0-0 and you hole shot the big guy.
Okay. I don't know what the lights were. I know I left pretty good, but I don't even know what the car run. What did we run?
586.
Okay. My crew, I'm telling you, they did a great job. We struggled a little bit, but they busted their butt and got us into the finals, and here we are.
A phenomenal victory for both driver and crew, and Mike Castellana now takes over the season-long points championship lead. Next time we see you will be from the 34th Annual Summit Racing Equipment NHRA Southern Nationals in Commerce, Georgia. On behalf of myself, Brett Kepner, and Brian Lones, thanks for being with us.